You are listening to Season 2 of The Diary of a Wannabe Writer, the short and often daily podcast in which I chronicle my life and attempt to be a writer by writing daily. Sometimes. Hello, today is Sunday the 23rd of November 2025 and you're listening to The Diary of a Wannabe Writer. Now, for those of you who know what the date is, Doctor Who fans have started calling it Doctor Who Day because, you know, if Star Wars Day is May the 4th and all that, you've got to have a Doctor Who Day, and they've chosen it to be the 23rd of November, which is, of course, the anniversary of the very, very first transmission of the show in 1963. I'm not going to waffle on too much about Doctor Who today, although I probably will at some point, but I've had quite a good day today. So last time I spoke to you, I'd got to Singapore and was extremely tired, and weirdly, I slept for a few hours exceedingly well and then suddenly woke up and couldn't get back to sleep, which was quite annoying because what I wanted to do was go for a swim and do loads of other stuff, and I forget when it's such a severe time jump, 8 hours into the future, or time difference should I say, it is quite difficult to adjust immediately. So I ended up going back to sleep and getting up at about 11:30, so it's still the morning technically, so that was good. And one of the things I decided to do today was actually go to the cinema, because there's a really good cinema around here. It always seems to be cheaper than at home as well, ludicrously. And I basically listen. I keep saying basically twice now. One of the things I do is regularly is, well, I don't actually. One of the things I tasked myself with recently was getting back into the habit of listening to the Kermode and Mayo film podcast. It's something I subscribe to, so I pay for it, but I haven't listened to it for ages, and I kind of decided, look, this month I either need to start listening to it or just admit I'm not going to and stop subscribing. It's only like £3.49 a month, but, it's a waste of money if I'm never going to listen to it. So I did actually listen to the podcast last week, and they interviewed Edgar Wright about his new movie of The Running Man, based on the Stephen King book, and also immortalised in 1987 as a rather silly Arnold Schwarzenegger film. So this isn't a remake of the Schwarzenegger film, but it is based on the same source material, based on the book, although apparently Stephen King is much happier with this adaptation than he was of the one with Arnie in it. It's also got a nice kind of little reference to the original movie, so it's set in an America which feels like it must be slightly in the future, although the original book was set in 2025, very prescient, and it's all about a country where the media control everything. There's no access to Medicaid or medical care, and basically, the media controls everything that happens, and it's all very corrupt. So, yeah, it's not terribly far from the truth, is it? But anyway, and it follows on the basic story about a guy who's got a sick kid who ends up going into the only game show that he has a chance of doing anything on, which is called The Running Man. It is a good adaptation. I really enjoyed the new version. I might try and rent and watch the Arnie version just for comparison. But what's quite nice is the money are called new dollars, and we get to see quite a few new dollar bills in the movie, and they've all got Arnold Schwarzenegger's face on them, which was pretty. I just thought it was a nice little touch. It referred to the original without being in any way similar to it. So that was a really good touch, and I enjoyed watching it. And so I did actually listen to the movie review podcast and watch a movie based on that recommendation. And I'd actually quite like to see the new the new movie Nuremberg, which has got Russell Crowe as, I can't remember which Nazi, but one of the famous Nazis who was put on trial, one of Hitler's inner core. Was it Goering? Can't remember. And all the reviews said, "Oh my God, why would you watch a film with Russell Crowe in it? It'll be awful." And apparently it's not. So I'd quite like to see that. And there's another side of me that thinks I should put my disdain aside and watch Wicked. So obviously the second part of the movie, Wicked for Good, is currently in the cinema. Obviously it's not even a sequel, is it? It's literally the second half of a 2-act play or a 2-act story. So the first part was Wicked, and the second part, which is out now, is called Wicked for Good. And it does feel like I couldn't watch one without watching the other, because it would literally be like walking into a play in the middle of the second act. So I do have the original Wicked movie on my hard drive at home, so it was transmitted by Sky. So I think I'm going to watch the original Wicked, and if I don't totally hate it, because I've actually been told it's quite good amongst all the fluff and silly songs, if I don't hate it, I might go and see Wicked for Good. So yeah, Wicked for Good, and but there was and what was the other one I just said? Nuremberg. I might go and see. Anyway, I'm in Singapore, as I have probably said already. I did a writing stream this evening. I finished the zero draft of chapter 20 with a lot of time travel nonsense with Charlie and Sayward. So that now needs editing. It's just gone midnight in Singapore where I am, but that's fine because my rule is I have to put this podcast out during the 23rd in the UK. So I could actually do it in 8 hours' time, well, just under. I'm not going to. I'm going to put it out now, obviously. So I'm recording it now, but then you don't know where that is. Anyway, so I've done the zero draft. What I'm going to try and do tomorrow before I fly on to Sydney is try and get the screen read-throughs done and get it to a point where I'm ready to print it. And then I will try and do the screen edit, if possible, in Sydney. And if it's not possible, then I won't. That's easy, isn't it? But yeah, definite progress. If I get this chapter finished, when I get this chapter finished, that takes me up to about 21,000 words for the month. And then I just need to write one more chapter by the end of the month. And given it's only 23rd today, that's definitely possible, to hit my word count target of 25,000 for November. Anyway, that's me. Thank you for listening. I'll be back hopefully tomorrow. Take care. Bye-bye. You have been listening to The Diary of a Wannabe Writer. For more information about what I'm writing, go to linktr.ee/Richard Writes, capital R, capital W, where you can find details of my website and social media. I may see you there.